Hello, welcome back to the channel. Yesterday, we accomplished, my wife and I, it's kind of awkward doing this by myself, we managed to make a major milestone, and we have all the Phylon on the top and bottom and ends of the trailer glued on. You see a lot of clamps and extra boards to keep things straight, because what you have is a lip on the bottom and top, and I wanted to keep that as secure to the buck as I could to make it easy to glue in the sides after the buck is removed. Because it was above freezing yesterday all day, the glue, although it's not cured yet, you can see a little bit on the overlap here. It's just very slightly sticky. It's basically at the tack-free stage. I don't think anything will come loose. The glue I use, although it's not a contact cement, it's more of a sealant and adhesive. It does grab the Phylon as soon as you stick it to it. It's really, really hard to reposition the Phylon once you've got it stuck down. It will move a bit if you have to move it, say, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. With a little bit of brute force, you can do that. But I'm pretty sure I can take the straps off and nothing's going to come loose. I'll probably do that this afternoon, give it another 4 or 5 hours. It's not that much above freezing right now, but I believe it's going to get warmer this afternoon. Not to the point where it's actually warm, but to the point where I'm not too worried about the glue letting go, which I'm not worried about right now. Just a quick review of the 3 types of foam I've been working with. This is Comfort brand. It's a pink foam, code board. This is the styrofoam that's on the buck and is part of the trailer now. It's DuPont styrofoam, Cladmate brand. You do notice it has a lot of blue ink on it. The other one, I believe, is called Suprema. I don't think I have a big enough piece. Yeah. I believe it's called Suprema. Sopra X. At any rate, this board seemed to be the nicest, but I couldn't get any. They had a bunch of 4x9s at the local Rona store, but by the time I decided I wanted to use 4x9s, they were all gone, sold, and they couldn't get any more. But it has a fairly heavy embossing. Like these lines with their logos and stuff get right into the foam. Where the Comfort board, it's mostly just flat. And same with the styrofoam brand. You can feel it's in a little bit, but not much. But while I was running some experiments, I wanted to see, the main thing I wanted to see was how long the glue took to get to the tack-free point. In other words, where it's not really sticky anymore. So I spread some glue out on this piece of Phylon and left it on my desk. Spread the glue at 9:38 a.m. and by 11:04 a.m. which is approximately an hour and 26 minutes later, it no longer felt sticky to the touch. But while it was sitting there, I put a chunk of the black styrofoam, and it was actually a chunk that had this bunch of writing on it. First I put it on the clear side, put it down, and I just left it for a little while, and I saw how much it took to get it off. And you can actually see some of the styrofoam that was still stuck on there. I was kind of surprised that it was still tacky, and this was getting up to the 1104 point. So I took that chunk and turned it over and stuck it down and put some pressure on it to see how well it would stick when it was just barely tacky. At any rate, it didn't really stick all that great, but when I pulled it off, I noticed the ink had come off on the glue, which caused it not to bond very well with the styrofoam. So the whole outside of the buck, when it was covered with foam, had the writing side out. It was just easier to cut it that way. So after I saw what happened here, that the ink pulled off and basically the styrofoam didn't stick because the ink interfered with it. So I ended up sanding all the blue writing off the styrofoam that was stuck to the buck, because I was more than a little worried that it would cause a lack of adhesion here and there. Maybe it wouldn't have, but this kind of tells me that the glue stuck to the letter and then it pulled the letters right off the styrofoam. At any rate, like I said, later on I'm going to be removing all the straps and hopefully getting the body of the trailer off the buck, which is the one job I'm more than a little concerned about. I can collapse the buck, but I'm kind of hoping to keep it intact so it could be used again. But I probably won't build another trailer this size. Okay, thanks for watching.